Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Had to put the work in. I had to put the work in.
Nolan, you did that!
Look, this. I remember days I ain't have it. Had $1 in a dream with some baggage. She asked me how I kept it sane through the madness. I just had to turn my pain into passion. Oh, I can finally see things I imagine. So close to my dreams, I can grab it. No, I couldn't stay the same till action. Want a bad, then you gotta get active. You gotta get active. You put in the work. That's how I'm getting what I'm worth. I had to get it from the dirt. I was broke, God came and made it work. Thank God he made it work. Yeah, he made it work.
Welcome back, YouTube. I am your host, The King Sir. And this is another No Excuse Reactions. Now, got another one from the Lapeef Network. And this is going to be a two-parter. Because in this first part, we're going to talk about ego. And in the second part, we're going to talk about argumentative nature. And the second part is going to obviously have to be a second video because you got to separate the two. Argumentative nature, though, is a part of the ego. But it must be separated, okay? This is how you conquer your ego. You splice it up, separate it, compartmentalize it, lock it down. Now, your ego is a part of your head that's just basically, we're going to get psychology with it. We're going to get a little of the psychology. Get your psychology books out. Take notes. I don't think so. But your ego is part of your head, you feel me? Your self-being, okay? And it's also the part that runs, you know, your anger, your jealousy, your thirst for competition and arguments to win, to be something. That's your ego. And a lot of people nowadays put their ego into the relationships a little bit too hard. And on this Lapeef Network show today, because we kind of got into, okay? So we're gonna do this first clip. Now, I do understand it's gonna be kind of a long one because I'm letting their clip kind of go out because, you know, you gotta hear them and then I'll cut in when it's necessary to cut it, okay? You know how I do it. You know you like the shit. Let's go, okay?
On this episode of Lapeef Let's Talk,
is that she wanted to talk about and get out about what was happening in her life at that particular time. And it's just the ease. It's a peace that comes over when you have that level of covering, that you don't have the same worries and you don't have the same concerns and the arguments and the pushback and the issues when you in that space. And I'm not sure, because I don't know what y'all history is, anybody on the panel or whatever. I'm not sure if y'all have ever truly experienced that, because I believe that if you did, then you would see things a little bit differently. But at the same time, I also am taking into consideration how y'all feel. You know, you have lived your own life, and you know, I'm not going to discount what you've been through or how you feel or any of that. I'm just saying be open to the possibility that there's more to it than what you've experienced. And it's a lot more that you can have out of this life, and it don't come with stress, it don't come with arguing, and it don't come with problems. That's all I'm saying.
So that was Anton saying a little thing. Now, obviously, that was supposed to be near the tail end, but you know how they do their clips sometimes. So I took the 30-minute clip, so we can splice it down. A good chunk of the conversation, the healthy chunk, and then the rest, you know, I kind of slice and dice. But anyway, so he was talking about how a relationship is without all the extra ego-driven bullshit that we came to incorporate into our relationships right now. Okay? He's saying how it should be if that shit was removed. If it was proper. Okay? I had to clarify because it kind of came in like yeah. So I hope I clarified that point for you. Let's get back into the stuff.
Where it says most relationships are ego driven and not pure love. So this is from Lauren London again. So let's kind of break this up. It's short. I'm gonna still break it up into two. I'm gonna pause in between. It's only like 2 minutes. All right. Hit the like button, family. Make sure you guys get the likes up right now. So make sure you subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Here we go.
Here's the thing. I have another perspective on relationships, and you don't want to have that conversation with me.
Okay.
I think a lot of them are ego-driven, and they're not pure.
I believe that too.
So why would I take myself in this vulnerable state into my ego, and I'm trying to get out of it? I'm in death of the ego space. Why do I need another? Why? Does that make my life complete? I'll never get married. Does that mean I'm not on purpose?
I need you to explain.
I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this one because I have a whole thing about it.
No, I need to know.
Okay.
That. I mean, that's not a small thing to drop. Like,
okay.
Because relationships are hard as fuck.
Absolutely.
Right? And so
mine was.
It was
very hard. Hell yeah.
Because we make it like a fantasy in our heads. Like
No.
you guys had the perfect relationship. You were on the horse.
Listen,
we saw you on the horse.
We had pure love. We had pure love, but that does not mean that we were not human and our egos did not get attached in aspects of our relationship. But we definitely had pure love.
But you had enough intention to probably like dissect
Always.
or break down.
Always.
Okay.
So make sure you guys get them likes up. Hit the like button if you haven't already.
Good intention.
But break that down for people.
Yes.
About relationships and ego, and because some people probably don't even think about that.
No, and I didn't think about it until I wasn't in relationship anymore because of the death, right? A lot of times, not all the time, we are in such of in our ego that we are in possession of another person. We're not experiencing them. We're not totally loving them and letting them be free. We think we're supposed to be together forever. And that's not a spiritual relationship. Spiritual relationship is without the ego. It is we are together. I bring you up, inspire you, you inspire me. Now, if there ever comes a point where I'm not inspired anymore and that now I'm in my ego, now I feel I need to possess you, now I feel the need to control you and you're mine, I'm in my ego. And that's not love. There's love in there, but now I'm operating more in my ego and not in my pure love. And I can say this because I operated from these spaces before.
Okay.
Now, I seen that whole interview. That's Nipsey's wife. Now, I understand people, the way she was talking and shit. She was talking from a female perspective. Okay? Now, from a female perspective, the way she was saying, having your ego in the relationship is not pure love, which is true. Okay? Now, understand, there is some ego that is still in the pure love, but that whole percentage, you do this shit with me, you're mine, you have to be doing this, and you do that. You know what I mean? That is ego selfishness. The ego is, you're mine, I want you to be better, I want you to be the best you can be because you're with me. That's pure love, ego. It's separate like that because it's not the same kind of mindset. The first one is aggressive. You have to give me this because I'm this person. Show me I'm this person by you doing this shit for me. Instead of the selfless number two, where you're that person and I'm this person, and me giving you everything you need to be that person makes me a better person. Ahai. two separate notions. Okay, now she said it differently. I just gave you an example of different ways, just to help clarify. You know what I mean? But she's also coming from Nipsey was her whole fucking world, yo. Okay, she didn't have no side niggas. Okay, she didn't have no extra niggas like that. No. Nipsey was her fucking world. Okay. So when your world gets shattered like that from a human perspective, you feel me? She's coming through that grief like that. You know what I mean? Trying to understand that grief. A lot of different ways you can do it, but she's coming through it the way she's coming through it with the whole relationship. The way that lady asked about the whole, like something being taken from her. Yes, something was taken from her. Okay. This is what death is. It's a give and take. Life and death is a give and take. You're giving life by having kids. You feel me? Eventually, the nigga was gonna die before you. All girls need to get this in your head, especially in the statistics today. 9 times out of 10, your nigga's gonna die before you. This is why you need to be a functional bitch, even if you don't have a nigga. This is why we were trying to teach that shit in the past, and it just got a little bit too independent. Okay, thinking you don't need a nigga. No, you need to have the family structure right. You need to have a family. It's good for you. It's good for everybody if it's a proper family. But let's see what these guys have to say on this Eagle shit.
Let me get Toya. I know she's been pretty quiet. Let me get her in here first if she wants to speak. If not, I can come back to you. I mean, no pressure. I just want to make sure I give you the opportunity.
No, it's fine. I really, honestly, I don't really understand what she's saying. I mean,
I get it.
Okay, but I mean, I can understand, and I mean, I can understand it from being in a relationship and being too comfortable, taking your significant other for granted, thinking that they'll be here, not fully loving them kind of thing. But as far as ego, I'm not understanding that part of it. I'm not. I'm gonna go on mute, y'all.
I didn't get it either. Siobhan, you're muted.
Okay, yeah. So what I took from it, I totally agree with her. And I'm going to say 2 different things. When it comes to an ego-driven relationship, right? Or just in its entirety, right? That person is happy with the things that they're getting. And then when you're not getting those things anymore, the relationship is going to die out. That is, to me, an ego-driven relationship. But then when you're talking about pure love, you have to be 100% selfless. And then when you are 100% selfless, where you can be your natural self, and then it takes time. When you're married or you're in a relationship, it's hard work. You have to have patience. You have to practice it. And you have to still know how to love yourself in between.
See, those things I know, because I'm in a marriage. But as far as the ego part is I'm not loving my husband more or less because of what he do and don't do. So I guess that's why I was like, wait, what? But I mean, I just never heard of that.
So I was confused too, but then after hearing Siobhan say so, I was even more confused now. I need help, niggas.
All right, go ahead, Kayla.
So just looking at ego, right? Ego is the person's sense of self, self-importance, self-conceit, self-worth, and value. I think what she was trying to convey is that our sense of self, like Siobhan said, has a lot to do with our proximity and relationship with other people. Even back to children, our parents, in terms of where we get our sense of self from, comes from them in a way because they created you. So I think that what she is saying is that we have a certain ego which makes us feel like we have the right to possess someone else. Because we're together, you belong to me. And I think that is the culture. But I think what she is saying is that when you have pure love, you can love that person despite if the things that they do contribute to that ego or not.
So when you're married, you don't become one?
Of course you become one in thought, but you're still your own spirit. You're still your own person. You become one in thought and ideals and decision making, for sure.
I love it how the two girls that's never been in that kind of position got a lot to say. Okay. One, Siobhan and Kayla, both of them bitches are super egoed out. Okay. They're manly sized egos. Okay. Females, you're supposed to have some egos, but man, you ain't supposed to have manly sized egos where it's a dick. Okay. So let me put it this way. What Siobhan was saying and what Caleb was saying, those are the selfish ones I just explained to you a second ago. Those are the selfish ego types. Okay? Where you feel like the possessive nature, basically. The possessiveness. You know, the selfish ego types are possessive. Okay? Your mind, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta do this. Yeah. Possessive types. And these girls, that's all they know. That's why they were quick to say about it. But if you heard from Tanya, I think that was her name. Anyways, she's actually married. So she's not understanding the whole ego-driven thing. But she's not understanding it because she's more of the selfless ego. And the selfless ego won't understand the selfish ego. Okay? At all. Okay? So she bowed out. Was like, I don't understand what the fuck she was just saying. It's like, I'm on mute. She pulled herself out that conversation quick. But the other two, those are the selfish ones. And I know this you're gonna spew it. Okay? So keep going.
Sure. But you're still your own person. You still have your own self-conceit and your own self-image of how you are, what you feel like you deserve, how you think that how you operate in the world. And I think that in a lot of relationships, a lot of people do think that they have the right, because of whoever they are, however they are, to possess someone, to have a say over other people's behaviors, over other people's feelings. Like, you shouldn't feel that way, you shouldn't do that, these different things. So I think that's what she was saying. If you watch the whole interview, she kind of goes like deeper. But it's a higher level of thinking that she's.
Yeah.
Nope. No, Kayla. Let me put it this way. It's a higher level thinking than you, Kayla. Okay. Because she's been through some shit. She has some shit, and then she has to come to terms with the shit. This is why she's thinking in that process. Okay. You, on the other hand, okay, I know you never been married, so you never been through that. Okay, to actually come to terms with a dude, I already know you ain't doing that. Just your mindset on the panel every night. You fake as fuck. Just like you're saying, like those fake beings were fake. You are fake as fuck. Super egoed out with Caleb right there. Okay? Just on the fact that nonsense you was just spending. Super egoed out. Okay? Kill that noise. Kill that noise right now. Okay? If you really want to see that, go and see that interview and stuff. Take your own interpretation, but do not listen to what Kayla had to say about that interpretation, okay? Okay, Kayla can't even reach that mindset yet because she ain't willing to do shit for a nigga, okay? So, let's proceed.
He's talking.
For me, I mean, I think, and I said this before, I think when it comes to your mate, and if y'all really trying to be together, neither one of y'all ego should play any part in that relationship. You know what I mean? As far as what she's trying to relay, I think like she said, with possessing a person, you mine, that's my man, that's my girl. You know what I'm saying? But also how your ego plays a part in that person just being themselves. And you not accepting that, and you take offense to stuff because your ego don't take it because it don't sit right with your ego. Right? Well, I'm me. That person shouldn't be able to say that, or they did that and it make me feel this type of way, when that person just being themselves. You got to love a person for what they are and what they aren't. Right? Love them for what they are and what they aren't.
I get
Okay, that guy's new to me. Like, he didn't put it in the right words. Let me rephrase what he had to say. Okay, so what he's talking about, the ego shouldn't be in it. Ego's going to come into play. Okay, the whole possessive part of your mind, and that is natural since the beginning of time. Even cavemen. Okay, especially for men, it must play a part. Okay, and for female, it plays a part because if that's your dude, then you're doing all the necessary things to please your man, so he can do all the necessary things to take care of you, protect you, and please you. Okay, those are ego-driven things. Okay, but those are selfless ego-driven things. Okay, there's two different parts of ego, and you can fall on either way side. That's why I'm saying this difference of those egos. Okay, you gotta separate this shit. So, what he was up there trying to explain, he was trying to say to take it out, but you can't take it out. It must be there. Okay, you must know what you're doing. What's your goal? What is that for? What are you doing? Okay. Your ego tells you what you're doing, but letting your ego go overdrawn with it, overboard, you know what I mean? That's when it becomes selfish, okay? When your ego demands something from the other. That's selfish. When your ego wants to please the other to get what you want. Selfless. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep repeating that before it can get in your head, because these guys is as selfish as fuck, okay? But that's how a lot of people is. I can't say everybody, but that's how a lot of people is in this day and age, because that's how we're raised. This is how the media is. This is what it's shown. You feel me? Selfish as fuck, okay? And there's a lot of people out there that's seeing it and wants to give and stuff like that. That's where some people go and have that urge to go to Red Cross and give clothes to Goodwill and shit like that. They're trying to take that selfish feeling away from them. I'm sorry. To fully be selfless, you gotta be selfless. Period. Okay? Now, at point in times, you know, it's hard for people to understand what selfless means. It doesn't mean, you know, you give everything out your pocket to the first bottom of your seat, okay? Be smart with your shit, okay? Some people are there for a reason, and some people are there because of hard times, okay? Hard times you can see. There for their own reason, you can see, okay? So, with your relationship is entirely different, okay? It's supposed to be entirely different. Let's keep going.
I don't see the problem. I don't see the problem when someone saying, I mean, especially if you're married, like, you're mine, and me saying you are mine. I am yours. What's the problem with that?
There's no problem with that, but it's do you think because of that you have control or possess like how they are as a person?
I mean, there's some control. Yeah, my husband should have a little control over me in the house. I have some control and say so too. I mean, I'm yours. I represent you. You mine. You represent me. Them
right,
children, my child. That's my child. She can't do whatever I tell her to do. That's mine.
What I'm saying, Courtney, is that again, if you're in a relationship with somebody, that should be even though we give each other direction, it shouldn't change you. That should be the person you are. You see what I'm saying? Like people keep saying you can't fake being a wife. Either you're a wife or a husband.
Well, I agree. That's your character. But when you are in a relationship, you do have to change. You do have to compromise. I can't just do my thing that I want to do without respect to him.
No,
you have to change.
I hear what you. I'm not saying that because we all change. I'm not saying that, right?
Okay.
But what I'm saying is that What I'm saying is that, like, if that person, right, if they're, I'm not going to even say out of character, but if they're moving and they're doing a certain thing, right, as long as they're not breaking I'm just going to say it, your bylaws, right, the things that you have, your non-negotiables. A lot of people will see some shit like that, like, oh, that shit make me sick. Oh, they irritate me. And y'all know how it go. Let's be honest. A person will hold that in their chest and build on that, right, and build bitterness, right? And then what happened? Y'all end up getting into something over something petty, and all that shit come out from an event that happened when that person, you in your ego about something, when that person was just being them. They was just being them. They didn't mean to offend. They didn't mean to offend or hurt you. You know what I'm saying? They was just being them, but your ego is so involved with how that person's supposed to make you feel at a particular time.
Yeah, I think maybe she was meaning the ego is you're so self-absorbed that you think that you're able to control or think that you own a person. So maybe that's what she's meaning. Like, you think that you're all this, your ego, you think you this big Willie style. And you think you can control and own a person. But again, I mean, I don't see any problem with someone. Do you mind? And I'm like, sure am. All day.
I don't think that's what she was trying to say.
Yeah, I think it's
What did I get wrong?
it's like a deeper. It's a deeper, like, spiritual thing, especially
Yes.
because she feels. I mean, she still knows and feels like Nipsey is her man. Like, she still has a spiritual connection with him. But I think her going through grief and understanding that, like, he doesn't belong to her, so her being taken away from him being taken away from her is what it is, and that her role was to experience him versus like being angry because now something's taken away from me because I'm that important. You know what I'm saying? Like,
y'all got that from this little ass clip? Y'all got all that?
Well, I watched the whole interview.
Oh, okay. I'm
But
so confused.
yeah.
Anton, Kay, somebody help.
I got your question. So, Kayla's making everybody's head mush. But she don't understand what that girl was feeling. Okay, was trying to say. Okay. She is an entirely different space than you can understand Kay. Okay. And the girl's just thinking that's Kay's right. Okay. She is in a lost stage, okay? She literally had her world, okay? Literally flipped when Nipsey was gone, okay? I ain't saying she ain't got some money here, you know what I mean? I ain't saying she didn't do her necessary things and shit and she ain't have no career or nothing like that. I'm just saying her world evolved around Nips and the kids. Get to you in a minute. So, things got flipped for her. So she's on that journey of understanding that something was taken from her and she shouldn't be angry. But except that she had something with him. Like all people that go through losing a spouse. You feel me? You're gonna go through a little grief stage, a little depression, you're gonna be angry as fuck that left you and shit like that there, even though it's not their fucking choice, or maybe it was, I don't know. But people go through these grief stages, okay? And then she's just working it through on an interview. And Kayla, you're not gonna understand that shit. You've never been in that position. Okay? You've never been in that position. I could most definitely say you've never been in that position. So that's why, and then this dude up there, Ricky! I don't know why this nigga is up there trying to get at what's your name like that, because like, oh my god, nigga, shut up. Not smart. He was slow on that. He's not getting it. Ego must be in it, but it shouldn't overwhelm it. I'm hoping people are catching what I'm saying. Ego will be in a relationship. You must have the ego in a relationship. You are mine. Those kids are mine. Those are ego-driven things. But the selfless ego is you are mine. I'm gonna take care of you, make sure you're good. Those kids are mine. I'm gonna take care of them, teach them, feed them, and make sure they grow up to be good people. Selfless ego. Let's keep going.
Niggas.
Translator Anton.
Hey, in fact, we done heard enough from you, Anton. Kay, can we hear from you, darling? Or excuse me, can we hear from you, Kay? It's been a minute.
Can you replay it? Because we listen.
Okay, we can't hear you.
And Anton, you breaking up.
Now I heard exactly what that space cadet said. I'm gonna let Kay go ahead and speak first.
No, I was just laughing because Anton was laughing, and like laughter is contagious. I saw him, then I started. I don't know.
She was crazy.
No, I'm confused.
Listen, all right, let's break it down, right?
We rock it real quick.
Why is it that people that have different perspectives on something are now like?
Let's break it down. First, first and foremost.
Because you are crazy, Kay. It's not that your perspective is different. It's you have no understanding and you wish to say something about something you do not understand. Instead of actually learning something and understanding, you think you know it all. So your mouth moves and speak bullshit, which is crazy. Now, any women that do that, you need to listen. Helps, okay? Put your hand over your mouth. Most of this real food like force yourself to hear and process what you're hearing. Not emotionalize it. Process. Think about it, okay? Not just think selfishly with your ways and what you want out of it, okay? Think about what this person is feeling, how this person is, okay? Almost like how you would do it to a really good girlfriend, okay? How she's feeling, put yourself in the shoes. If you want to really put yourself into a man's situation when a man talks to you, listen entirely to the situation. Put yourself in his shoes. Actually kind of get some feeling of like, a lot of testosterone, a lot of anger and shit. Okay, he might not be wanting to do shit today. You know what I mean? If you actually do that a little bit more often, you feel me, you might catch a man's side of things a little bit more. Because, you know, some guys actually talk to their females and tell you what's up, but y'all don't listen. You hear them, but you don't listen. And that's part of the selfish ego. Okay? You must hear and listen to people to get the proper information to make an informative rebut or reformative answer to whatever is being said. And now Anton about to go on a little rant. But it's a good one. Almost everything he's saying is just like dead ass. Okay? Upper clap that man because we're gonna do it early. Okay, let's go.
She led with her relationship was hard. That's the first thing that she led with, is that the relationship was hard. She doesn't understand what it means to really be in a relationship then, because relationships, in my opinion, is easy and they get easier every single day. It is like a phenomenal day. Siobhan, why are you shaking your head?
Because I don't think relationships are easy.
That tells me is that you don't either A, don't understand what a relationship is, or B, you haven't been in the right ones.
I just don't think that for you to just loosely say that relationships or marriages are easy. Like, I don't agree.
It's supposed to be easy. Listen. A marriage is supposed to be you becoming much more successful as a result of combining your strengths. 2 horses can pull 10 times their weight. It's not supposed to be a problem, which again then tells me that either you don't understand what a real relationship is supposed to be, or you've been in the right ones.
You picked wrong.
It's supposed to be a combining of power to then utilize each other's resources to become much more successful in every single aspect of life. For example, it is a fact that kids are much more successful as a result of being raised in 2-parent households. Your kid becomes much more successful as a result of being under the guidance of both a man and a woman that understand their roles in a relationship. In addition, I'll give you another fact. Men that are married are much more successful than men that aren't. Right? These are examples of how relationships are supposed to go. And again, there's a difference between being married and being successfully married. A successful marriage is supposed to be easy, right? When I lean into my wife and I say, listen, I don't even have to ask because she already knows what it is that I need. And she fills voids before I even realize that they're a void. That makes my life easier. I enable her to then not to have to go and fend out for resources so that she can then really become the person that she needs to be in order to be the best version of us. That's easier, right? The whole idea of a relationship is it's supposed to be easier. She's supposed to be my peace. I'm supposed to be her covering. Her life is easier as a result of me being in it and vice versa. Relationships are supposed to be better and easier, make your life more fulfilling. It's not supposed to be a problem. So then when you start to see what happens in society today, just because we normalize it does not mean that that's the blue success. Right? And so listen to her talk. When I listen to Lauren London.
Okay, so you caught that, right? Now, Anton, he's married and stuff. He's trying to explain how relationships is supposed to get easier over time, which it is. This is what I was talking about, hearing and listening. Okay, if you heard and listened to your counterpart, your companion, your husband, whatever. You were actually listening, hearing them. You would have heard the things they like. You would have heard, how they feel about certain situations. You feel me? You would have heard that pet peeves and shit already. You feel me? Especially if you're with them for a certain period of time, especially a long period of time. Over that time, it's like reading a book over and over again. Okay? If you keep forgetting every page you read of that book, you will never get the fucking story. Let me do this again. If you keep forgetting every page of that book, you will never get the fucking story. If you keep forgetting how this person likes their food, how this person hates Chinese food, but they like barbecue, you feel me? How this person eats only meat, and this person is only vegan. You know what I mean? Things over time, like, you should know. You should fucking know. Before you even get in a marriage, you should mostly know the motherfucker. Okay? You should know a nigga. Learn a nigga. As they learn you. Okay? But the way she was explaining this shit in the interview, I'm gonna play one more clip. He explained that the way she explained in the interview, it was the emotional aspects of love and not the actual action. The actions of love. And so the actions of love is how you act towards a person, treat a person, uphold a person with your actions. Not just saying it. Actions. The movement. Pure love. Let me put it this way. something flying towards a baby. Mama jumps in the way, getting tremendous strength just to save the child. That's the action of pure love. They want nothing to harm that child. Same with a father. You know what I'm saying? Jumping in front of that bullet. Okay? Covering up his family. The action of love. That's pure love. She was talking about the emotional ego of love. The selfishness nature that it can turn into. That's what she was talking about. But let's keep going.
Her talk, when I listen to Lauren London, all I'm seeing is a reflection of what we deem normal in society. She's talking about ego, she's talking about what love is, and she don't understand what love is an action. It's not a feeling.
I don't feel like that's fair to say.
When did she say that it was a feeling? Like
I identified the ego aspect of it. She broke down exactly how ego plays a role and then combating the love aspect of it. Because she said, when love is not pure, it then becomes ego. That's exactly what she said, word for word. Did I miss something? Because I was paying attention to exactly what she was saying.
I still think that you guys are missing it. I think that we just need to see the rest of the clip, but I still don't agree with you, Anton. I got to stand my ground on that one.
Why?
What part don't you agree with?
Mm-hmm. I do think in a certain light that when you get married or you're with someone that it does tend to be easier in some way, shape, or form, right? But you don't have any hard days. Like there's not one day where you're like, this is hard. Like this is
overall. He said overall.
I'm saying
overall. Okay.
No. The marriage is the phenomenal aspect of my part. The hard part is me going out here and dealing every single day with the things that I have to do to get back home. When I get home, man, that's like I can't wait to get home. It's the reason why everywhere I go, city to city, state, every single weekend I'm in a different city. She's right here next to me.
So yeah,
it is phenomenal.
Hold up. So this your example. Let me pull a time real quick. But it says, wouldn't you say that most, the populace, right? Not your relationship, but most relationships are ego driven.
Which is what she said.
But most relationships end up in divorce or going away from each other.
Understood.
That's not the.
But would you say most relationships
I'm
are
saying
ego driven?
Ego can be it is a good thing. Ego is a good thing. People don't understand that, right? I don't want to go into a soliloquy, bro. I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna cut it right there. I'm gonna do a part 2, but the part 2 is actually gonna be titled something different because the next part of this is just the argument of nature. Okay, even though the nigga is right, they're gonna get in an argument right here. I'm not doing that part here. We're about the ego specifics. Okay, now the ego-driven chicks on there. Let me just address what they were just saying right there. Rick Williams, stop it. I don't know why you're there. Ego is in all relationships. All relationships. Friends, family, girlfriend, boyfriend, husband, all that. It's in all relationships. Ego is in all relationships. You are not going to eliminate ego out of everything. The thing you need to do is to control your ego. Okay? Learn to control your ego. And as I was breaking it down to you, compartmentalize, separate that selfish and selfless. Okay? Understand that part of your ego. Okay? Then you move on to the next. Nah, I'm not going into full psychology. I know I got a little bit serious on this one. I'm sorry. You know what? Let's liven this up. Say hi to Baby Yoda. Okay, there we go. Now, so This is my show today. Part 2 will be coming. And that's going to be an argumentative nature. That's another part of the ego. I will get into the next time. I'll try not to be so serious. All right. Like, subscribe, comment, share me out like those.
That's the reason why I always put them first. I ain't worried about a hate or hard curse. Tell them coming through your worst.